So right where I'm pointing here, that is where this little lime hydrangea was, the one that we transplanted. And I'm doing a voiceover for this particular clip because the wind, it just got really loud and it was compromising this portion of the video. So anyways, we transplanted that little lime hydrangea. What I'm pointing at now is the other little lime that's right next to it. And that one's doing fine in that spot. It doesn't seem to be affected by the wind at all. The one that we're transplanting did get hit by quite a bit of wind, just being, I think, planted a little bit further out. And I also have a lime light hydrangea, that's what I was just pointing to. And one of the reasons why we wanted to transplant that little lime is because I felt like it was congested in this area. There was a lot of hydrangea going on. I don't have a big yard. We have like 0.47 of an acre and just under half an acre. And I could see if you had a really big piece of property that planting, a big grouping of hydrangeas like that would look pretty nice, but I just felt like it looked congested in our yard and just felt like the hydrangea was better suited just, placed and dotted around the yard instead of in a big clump there. So that's what we decided to do. And we're swinging right back around here, and this is where we placed the little lime hydrangea.
You mean to do the root? Oh yeah, I think that's, yep. And I think even if you, missed some of the root, how is it the ease of digging in that soil? How is it? I'm just curious. Oh, because it just rained? Yeah, it rained really good. Rained all day yesterday.
The garden bed here, and I think it'll be okay for the winter. I've seen other people do this, method when they're not quite sure where they want to place something. So I think I might just have to maybe mulch it a little bit more around the perimeter. But I'm hoping that it will overwinter just fine, and then I'll be able to find a spot for it in the spring. Luz, come here! She keeps getting out of our fence. She learned how to crawl underneath. See, look at her. Gotta do something about that. Can you stay with me, please? Thank you. Thank you. Okay, the first thing on my list, I just wanted to say it's quite windy today, and once the fall and winter come, it is quite windy. So I hope that's not affecting the audio. and the Dichondra Silver Falls. I think I mentioned in my last video that the Creeping Jenny doesn't come back. It actually is a perennial. I misspoke and I apologize. It is a perennial. I think for me though, I'll probably cut that back, see if it comes back next year. A lot of times I will just start over in the next season. I've never really tried too hard with the Creeping Jenny to bring that back, but maybe it's something I want to give a try in the future and see how it works for me. But so I'm gonna be leaving the Empress Wu in this pot. I'll just cut it down and I will just clip up the Creeping Jenny all the way down as well, and the Dichondra Silver Falls I think should be easy to pull out. I believe that is definitely an annual. I'll double check that though before I get started. The Dichondra Silver Falls was so beautiful this year. It was my first year with it, and oh my gosh, it's so beautiful and delicate and soft. I really enjoyed that plant this year. So I did get rid of the Dichondra Silver Falls. That is definitely an annual. It's only hardy down to zone 9, and like I said, I'm in Western New York, zone 6B, so it would never survive our winter. I did trim back the Creeping Jenny and the Empress Wu Hosta, and I tucked this pot back in the corner, which I think will do okay. It's protected from the wind here, and I left a couple things in this pot in previous years just tucked in the corner here, without having to put it into the shed, and it did fine. So I kind of made a little bit of a mess on the front porch, but I can just get the leaf blower out, or actually the wind will eventually sweep through and take things away, so that's not a problem. So okay. Wow, it is windy today. I did those few things around the yard. The last thing I wanted to do is I had 3 more packs of tulip bulbs that I never finished planting out into containers. So I would like to get that done right now. I relocated myself to the back of the shed because I felt like I was sheltered from the wind a little bit. So we will see how that goes. I just kind of set up a little workspace here, and I'll show you what I'm doing. I'm going to be using 2 of these pots. This is like a really pretty turquoise color pot that's plastic. I believe this is probably, I don't know, maybe it's a 10 inch or a 12 inch pot, something like that. So what I'm going to be doing is first I'm going to be planting tulip bulbs. So I'm going to fill both pots with some old potting soil that I have from my summer pots, probably about 5 inches, and I'll do that first and then we'll continue on. So here I have my 2 pots with my old potting soil, about 5 or so inches, I'd say. I have these 3 tulips left. We've got the Purple Passion mixture. There's 10 of those. I have Design Impressions. There's 10 of those, and I have 10 Pink Impression. So what I'm going to do is just first look at the height of each one. So the Purple Passion, that gets, 18 to 20. And then this one is 22 to 24, and this one is 20 to 22. So I'm thinking for these, I'll probably put the tallest tulip in the middle. So I'll start with the Design Impression, followed by the Pink Impression, and then the perimeter I'll have the Purple Passion mixture. And I think that'll look good. Okay, I also have some bulb tone on hand this time. I recently posted a video on planting tulip bulbs in containers, and I did not have any bulb tone on hand. I've been kind of watching a lot of videos on planting bulbs and also reading up, and I've seen people do it all kinds of ways, with and without fertilizer. I think, just as nature intended, if you have a bulb that you're planting in the ground, it probably has all the nutrients that it needs to be able to bloom on its own. But if you have the ability to fertilize, I think it's good. It's a good thing. It'll help it'll help the process along. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. I'm going to be using some bulb tone. You can also use bone meal. Thank you to Christy. In my last video, she suggested that as an alternative to bulb tone. So I've never used bone meal before, but I was appreciative of that information. So thank you very much. So I have in my pots my old potting soil, about 5 inches, and I'm just going to add a sprinkle of the bulb tone to each pot. Okay, so here is my bulb tone. Add just a little sprinkle in each pot. Mix it around, just like so. See, just like that. Just a little bit more there, just like that. Okay, and we'll start planting our bulbs. Like I had said before, the tulip bulb, you want to plant the pointy side up because that's where the stem is going to come from, and the flat side down, and that's where your roots are coming from. And as you can see, these have been sitting in my shed, and you can see that this one kind of started to sprout a little root there. So I'm going to get these all planted up and tucked away. Lucy, don't do that. Thank you. And tucked away in the shed until spring. Okay, so just going to get these bulbs out and start planting. I like to start in the center of each pot, and I'm just going to go around just like that. The spacing, I don't think that's really a big deal if they're crowded together. I guess I'll find out in the springtime. Oh wow, look at these, have already started to sprout here. So I'm gonna get these planted up here. Okay, so that's the first section. And then we're going to go move on to these pink impressions. And I'm just going to keep going around. Just like so. And on the other side here. This wind is really something today. Okay, like that. Of these here. Awesome. And then my last package were these, the purple passions, which are the smallest ones in terms of height. So I'll put those around the perimeter. There we go. Here. Okay. Looks great. So one of the last things I'm going to do here is cover it with soil, and it should be about 3 times the measurement of your bulbs. So I think my bulbs are about 2 inches, so give or take. So about 5 or 6 inches of soil on top of them should be sufficient. And here's the finished product with the potting soil on top, about 5 or 6 inches of potting soil. And the next thing I'm going to be doing is placing these pots in my unheated shed for the winter. And tulip bulbs need 12 to 16 weeks of chill time before they're able to bloom. Not freezing, just cold temperatures, between 35 and 45 degrees Fahrenheit. So I'll be placing them in my shed. It's also important to water them in and check the water moisture of the pot every few weeks or so and add water as needed. Okay, wow. That was a windy experience today. It's a beautiful day. The sun is shining, but the wind is strong. So I ended up kind of hiding out, behind my shed here, trying to get the tulip bulbs planted and to be able to talk to you and not have it be a completely wind-blown video. So I guess I'll find out during the editing process if that was okay or not. But just want to thank everyone for joining me today in my pretty little garden. And I just want to encourage all of you to get out into your spaces. We're all so different in, where we come from, what zones we garden in, what states we live in, or, even out of the United States gardening. But, we can find some commonality in, the beauty of gardening and how it makes us feel. And, coming together as a community like that, I think is a beautiful thing. And, that's something that I desire here on my channel. So thank you so much, and I will see you very soon.